with the project that I shared very briefly from WorkSafe, there was a very far-fetched future vision, right? And they were using this as a guideline to direct what kind of projects they should take on, right? So what kind of projects development, what kind of, so you usually say, okay, that's the future vision, that's where we are, that's the gap that we have. We call it backcasting in futures design. And then we start to make decisions of what we should be working on, what we should be focusing. So it's very strategic. It also directs what you should be doing on now, right? It's not only about speculation of the future, but what you should be doing, what you should be working now to activate this desirable future. So usually you need to kind of define this and prioritize what you're going to be doing. We always need to brutally prioritize what is most relevant, what is going to be creating more impact. And sometimes you're going to have to, especially now, there are a lot of changes happening. Sometimes you're going to have to let the old ways of doing stuff, or the old ways of creating things, we're going to have to let go a little bit of old ways in order to build the future, right? Because there is one thing that usually, I think it's interesting, when we think about the future, we usually think about the future based on our assumptions of the past. And this is just wrong, because if we do that, we're going to be replicating the past in the future, right? So we need to let the new emerge. So it needs you are in the present, you're thinking about the future, you need to create priorities, you need to open space for this future emergence. Of course, that you need to deal with your daily things, but you need to, otherwise you're probably just gonna probably stay in the past and not evolve and actually fail as an organization or as a business, to be honest. There is a saying, right? There is that thing, for example, there was the World Cup, Soccer World Cup, Brazil against Germany. Do you know that, what happened? Brazil lost from 7 to 1. So Brazil lost very briefly. And the thing was that Brazil was attached with the success of the past. And they didn't do anything different. They didn't think about the future, what they could be evolving. And Germany was just using all the tools of the present, of the future to evolve their team. And the results were shown, which I think it's very, illustrates a lot in sports, let's say.